So welcome Sarah, everyone.
Thank you all so much for coming tonight. It's really lovely to be here with local authors, and we've got local people, as if I need this, supporting us. It means a great deal. I'm sure any of you who've produced anything realise just how important it is that you've got other people going, you can do this, and then to not have an empty room when you finally do it is really quite rewarding. So that in itself is fantastic. Now, there was a few years ago, about 5 years ago today, I was actually at my wedding day in the sunny, not so much UK. And at this evening I was sat back in my beautiful gown and my lovely dad got up and did his talk. Whilst I was clenching my bum cheeks, wondering what he was going to say, it suddenly occurred to me in that particular moment that my dad had absolutely no idea what I did for a living. Right, he kind of knew what industry I was in, like she does some training stuff, right? But he didn't know what I did in the training stuff. He didn't know how I helped my customers. Now before you all go, oh my god, your dad's well bad. Actually, what I thought was, gee, my marketing sucks. If my own dad doesn't know how I help my customers and what I do for a living, how on earth can my customers expect to know that? Wow. And this is the thing we all do in business quite a lot, is we are so immersed in what we do, we're so immersed in our everyday running of our operations that sometimes we forget that the rest of the world isn't. We need to realise that unless we show people what we know, unless we demonstrate our expertise to them, unless we give them a taste of how much we can help them, we're not going to go anywhere. So I rocked up to Australia, broke, alone and homeless. Now I didn't realise 5 years ago that you could sell a business. Wah, wah. So I left Malta, really excited, looking forward to moving to Australia with my suitcase full of bikinis in July. That hurt. Damn tourism board, really got that wrong. And I had no friends, I had no connections, I had no mobile phone. Even if I did, I wouldn't have had anyone in it to call. Ooh, didn't have a bed to sleep in, and I didn't have a job. 18 months later, I had a 7-figure business and 23 employees. And I did that using the platform of education. Because sales, I'm sorry guys, sorry sales guys, it's dead. Marketing in the traditional sense is now dead. You can no longer just go out there and sell. Once upon a time it was he who had the most amount of money to spend on advertising that would get the business. It was he who had the biggest billboards and the loudest voice that won the business. Today, the person who wins your business is the person who has the answers to the audience's questions. Today you no longer have to sell, you no longer have to market, you no longer have to plead and look desperate. All you have to do is share what you know. Because in today's world, the consumer wants information. They want the answers to their questions. And where's the first place they go today to ask those questions? Google. Where's the second place they go to ask those questions? YouTube. So if I am looking for a question on how to bake a cake, and I run to the internet and I type in how to bake a cake, and your demo video comes up, who do you think about my business? You. So to succeed in today's world, all we have to do is share our knowledge and our expertise. So here I was, 5 years ago, I just washed up on the shores of Western Australia thinking, what am I going to do? And I thought, what if I share everything I know and somebody steals it? What if I share my best kept recipes to my best kept secret and my competitor takes it? And that happened. What if I put my stuff online and no one buys it because they're like, yeah, I got it for free? Real concern, right? This is our IP, this is stuff we've worked our whole lives for, this is stuff that we've spent our entire life learning and preparing. So what on earth, Sarah Cordiner, are you telling me to go and give it away for? Are you mentor? Well, I was in a situation where I had no choice. Because if your audience do not know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them, you're not going to get the business anyway. So good old Dad, back on my wedding day, taught me that I need to tell people what I know. I need to tell people who I am. I need to show people that I am good. Because marketing and sales is dead. We can no longer say to people, buy my stuff, I promise it will be good. We have to show them first, because the modern day consumer can find the answers to their questions today. So by doing a video, answering questions, by taking our mobile phone and answering that question and posting it on YouTube, just the press of a button for free, by going onto Facebook and doing a live stream, answering the most common questions our audience might ask, or type into Google, or come to us to pick our brains about over a coffee, by writing a blog post, by speaking on a podcast, by creating our own podcast, by creating an online course, we can begin to answer our audience's questions in a way where we show them that we know what we know. We're no longer shouting and sending out promises. What we are now doing is putting it into our audience's mind that we absolutely are, beyond any shadow of a doubt, the expert that we say we are. That we have all the answers that they need. That we have all the skills that they are looking for. Educating your market is by far today the most profitable and fastest way to grow yourself a global audience who absolutely love you. And beyond that, give you their money happily, thank you for it, and then go and tell all their friends to do the same. Winning! You can also go to bed and sleep at night knowing that you change people's lives. So a couple of years ago, we were running a lot of corporate business, we were writing training programs and curriculum for colleges and universities. I had 23 trainers out across Australia delivering training around Aboriginal communities, when all of a sudden, the government pulled a plug on the funding. $5.5 billion in a bucket across Australia for a particular realm of training, and Tony Abbott just went, not doing that anymore. My clients went out of business overnight, which meant we were faced with redundancy. This was just a couple of years ago. And I went, wow, the mining boom has crashed in Australia, my government contracts have all lost their money, and all of the training providers have gone under, and all the training managers that I work with in the corporates have all lost their jobs. What am I going to do? So, true entrepreneurial spirit, I thought, well, I will find another way to do what I do, or no, I'll find another way to show people what I know, I'll find another way to demonstrate my skills and expertise. So I picked up a video camera, I got a green bed sheet, and I started filming. And I began taking every piece of knowledge out of my head. I began writing down every strategy I'd ever learned, every process I'd ever put into place. I started taking out every single workbook and thinking, how can I explain this to a camera? And I did. A year later, I built well over 100 online courses, and I now have 9,000 students right now today from 131 countries enrolled in my training programs. That particular 12 months, whilst being faced with administration, I increased my profit margin to 61%, and I actually opened up a global marketplace. I went from being dependent on a local economy to suddenly having the entire world as my marketplace. And the only difference between what I was doing before and what I'd done then was pressing upload. And that's as simple as it is. So whether you are you're a solopreneur, you just work for yourself, whether you're a huge multinational corporate or something in between, you all have knowledge, skills and expertise to give. You've all been training your entire life for everything that you know today. And with a mobile phone and an internet connection, you can start taking that stuff out of your head and creating for yourself profitable online courses. Now, the online course can actually be used in a number of different ways. You can use an online course as a lead magnet. Now, let's pretend you do web development services, as an example. In fact, I'm going to pick a random person. What do you do? What's your business? Oh yeah, I can pick thing. What's your business? Events management, great, okay, so we have an events manager in the room. Traditionally a service-based business, right? How can I make an online course from that? Glad you asked. What you can do is suddenly create, what are the top 10 questions people ask you when it comes to running an event? How much does it cost? What kind of venues can I have? How do I lay the room out? Well, there's a million questions, right? What kind of stuff do I need to think about? What kind of people can help me? List all of those questions down and simply film a 3-minute video on each one and make it a free course on how to run your own event. Put it on your website, have an email address, and as soon as they pop in their email address and press submit, they get access to this free online course. But Sarah, surely they won't need my services after that. Well, people are lazy. And actually, people are kind of stupid too. And I'm not talking about in an ignorant sense, I'm talking about they're not an expert in what you are an expert in, and therefore often they don't realise just how much goes into your profession. So get this. Who's got a cookbook on their shelf? Raise your hand. Who's got a cookbook at home somewhere? How dusty is it? Right, yeah, mine coughs when I open it and moths fly out. Right, but here, get this. So Gordon Ramsay, bless him, right, he's got a couple of books on my shelf. I pay about $30 for that. Why would I do that when all of his shows on television are absolutely free of charge? Completely free of charge. He shows me the recipe, shows me the ingredients, shows me how to chop it, mixes it, bakes it, goes, how delicious. For free. I can YouTube and watch the exact same thing again for free. I can go and type it in the blog, and his blog recipes come up for free. Yet I still went out and paid $35 for his book with the same information. Now get this. Let's say good old Gordon Ramsay opens a restaurant around the corner in Broome. It's totally not going to happen, but you know. Gordon Ramsay opens a restaurant. Am I going to go and pay $250 for dinner there? Probably. You know, there's only so many restaurants in Broome. But you know, right? I'm still going to pay more money for the same thing that I have on top of my microwave in my kitchen, which is the same thing that I watched on television for free last week. Why? Because watching him do that on television for free proved to me that he's a damn good chef, and that food looks amazing. Because watching him on television shows me that he clearly knows his thing. Watching him on television showed that I connect with that style of cooking. Because if Gordon Ramsay and all the other celebrity chefs out there did not share their recipes for free online, do you think they'd have books or restaurants or cooking schools? Probably not. The very fact that they gave that information away for free is precisely the source of their success, because they got to show people that they are who they say they are, instead of just shouting. So this now is where, regardless of what you do, using that mini course as a free lead magnet, is people look at that and go, wow, I didn't realise how much went into that. I didn't realise how much went on behind the scenes. Do you know what? Now that justifies your expensive event management prices. Now it does. Now I know what I'm paying for. And sometimes they watch that and go, oh my goodness, can you do it for me? And this is where your service now comes back into play. Your online course acted as the lead magnet. You've shown them that you know what you know. You've demonstrated your capability and expertise. You've wowed them. And then you've offered them the actual service. By which point now you can increase your prices because you've proved to them that you are good at your thing. Now the other way you can use an online course is you can literally make an income stream out of it in its own right. So you can create your online course, you can upload it to an online learning platform. There's tons of them out there. My favourite one at the moment is called Thinkific. You can set that up in 5 minutes. It's really not that difficult. You upload your videos that you've recorded on your phone, 3 minutes per video. One video answers one question. You don't need a Hollywood production. Remember, your audience want to know the answer. They don't want to be wowed. They want to be wowed with the knowledge that you have. They want their questions answered. You can charge an amount of money. Now, for these online learning platforms today, you with a click of a button, you can connect them to your PayPal account. With the click of another button, you can connect them to your Stripe account. You literally, in the true sense, make money while you sleep, because people can find your course, they can log on, they can pay their money, they immediately get access, and in the true sense of passive income, you make money without being physically involved in the transaction. Once you've built that course, it's there forever. Now, another way you can use online courses is to bundle it up with one of your other offers. Are there any coaches or consultants in the room? Couple? Yes, we have a few in here. So look, traditional way of doing consulting services or coaching or mentoring services is that you go, here's my hourly rate, and then you exchange your time for money, and then you basically have a job, and your income is capped because there's only so many hours in a day. Even if you're charging $1 million an hour, there's still only 8 hours in a day that you could do working-wise, right? So you're still capping your income. So what you can do in the online course is start chucking all this knowledge and information and extra reading and activities into your online course. And instead of charging an hourly rate for your service and your time, what you can now do is create packages and bundles. Say package number 1 is you get this many hours of my time plus access to these online courses, and I'll throw in an ebook too, because here's the thing, once you've got your online course, you can transcribe those videos, turn it into text. Oh, look, it's a book. Right? Yeah, something like that. I know, stick with me. So this is another way where you can start creating multiple products from basically a little piece of work. So you can now, instead of saying, it's $200 for 1 hour with me, you can now go, for $1,997, you actually get the equivalent of about 20 hours of my time, all of the top questions you could ever want to ask, and you get it for life. So you can use these to now add value to a package as opposed to just exchanging your time for money. I'm very well aware of the fact that I'm running out of time now, but the whole point of my book, guys, is I started seeing that this world of online learning, which is now a multi-billion-dollar industry, online learning now, people spending money on online courses, is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It is the new way of doing business. The second you are educating people on what you do, is the second you automatically position yourself as an expert in that, because you're showing them what you know. So what I've noticed, there's a lot of marketers coming along going, ooh, shiny stuff, and teaching people. Online education full stop is a qualifying profession. So having been in the industry for long before it was sexy and had to do all the getting pieces of paper for it stuff, I realised that it was really important to show people that there is a huge amount of theory behind creating effective training courses. Yes, you can answer questions and put them online, and that's exactly where we need to start. But to create an amazing training program, you need to make sure that it includes the principles of adult learning. You need to make sure that your students are going to be engaged and transformed from your training. Because if they don't get transformational results, they're going to walk away and go, well, that was pants. And then they're not going to tell their friends. Or worse, they might tell their friends that it was pants. What you want people to do is go, whoa! That was amazing. So this book is all about what to do before you create your course. I hate to down my own product here, but some people might say, that's a bit boring. But, we all know that the technical side of what we do isn't always the most exciting, make millions overnight while you sleep stuff. However, it's the fundamental principles behind what makes you truly successful at what you do. So this book here is all about those things to keep it engaging, the principles of learning, what helps adults learn so that your training that you put together is absolutely transformational to those people. The second book that's coming out next month, Entrepreneur to EDUpreneur, will then teach you how to turn that into a profitable education-based business. I'm Sarah Cordiner, part of my staff, love you loads, bye!
How awesome is she?